Bad news for Palestinian supporters. Donald Trump wants to empty out Gaza completely and send all of its citizens to Jordan and Egypt, which pretty much means Gaza would then be wiped off the map. This comes 24 hours after we found out that Trump also is now going to give 2,000-pound bombs to Israel. Those are very big bombs, bombs that President Biden had said he would not give to Israel as punishment for what they were doing in Gaza, which brings us to the larger question of, gosh, is it possible Donald Trump could be worse for Gaza than Joe Biden? Why, yes, it is. And many of us told you it would be. That didn't stop student activists around the country from telling everyone not to vote for Kamala Harris. And it didn't stop Arabs in Michigan, Arab Americans, from actually supporting Donald Trump and holding press conferences supporting him because, get this, Trump promised he was going to be good to them. Oops, he's not being good to you. But again, I laugh. It's not funny, but I laugh because all of us knew this going in. If you believe Donald Trump's bull about what he was going to do in Gaza, then you deserve every single thing that's happening. Elections have consequences. Educate yourself or accept the fact that, oh well, FAFO.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today, President Donald Trump has once again ignited a global firestorm. His controversies remarks suggesting a clear out of Gaza, describing it as a demolition site, have drawn intense criticism and polarized opinions worldwide. But what exactly did he say, and how are people reacting to it?
So apparently the Trump administration was thinking of relocating all of the Palestinians within Gaza to Indonesia because they want to make their lives better. All Palestinians want is their fucking land back. And then I saw an article from the Jakarta Post that was like, Jakarta has never heard of this. What are you saying? And of course they would choose somewhere like Indonesia. And don't get me wrong, I love Indonesia. I love Indonesians, but it is one of the most susceptible places in the world for climate change. Like Jakarta, the capital city, is like the world's most like fast sinking city. That's due to a lot of reasons. It was like, I think I learned in school, it was built way too fast. It's also built on swampy land. It's in a flood zone. But of course they would choose to put Gazawis in a place like that.
I want all of you brain dead, cowardly. Both sides are the same. I can't vote because of my conscience. Dipshit weasel motherfuckers to come sit right front and fucking center. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement is raiding elementary schools and ripping patients from hospital beds. Corporations across the country are slashing their diversity initiatives. The richest man in the world is goose-stepping on stage at a presidential inauguration while that same president talks about cleaning out Gazans and running for infinity terms. It has been 1 week. Tell me again how both sides are the fucking same. If the same number of people who had voted for Biden in 2020 voted for Kamala in 2024, she would have won. And none of this would be happening, which means you could have prevented this. You could have listened to the millions of queer people, the millions of black women who have never been wrong when they warned you, but you let your arrogance take precedence over the lives, safety, and well-being of children. You will never be as bad as the people who actively support these measures, but you're close. I hope your conscience is intact. I hope you choke on it.
Hey everyone, so from this article, like behind me here, that you guys can find in any mainstream media outlet at the moment, looks like things are really getting a little bit wild in the Middle East. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, I've said that my analysis and my speculation and my opinion is that the United States will have an invasion of Iran around about March 2026. Now, if you look at the comments here from Donald Trump, where he's saying that, US president suggests a clear out of Gaza, which he described as a demolition site, as tens of thousands of displaced Palestinians remain blocked from returning after Israel accuses Hamas of breaching the ceasefire. Well, no surprises to me and no surprises to anybody watching this channel. Guys, listen, we are on a path now, I believe, for a global conflict of an industrial scale. This also comes after news that Donald Trump is letting the Israelis use 2,000-pound bombs, which is about 800 kilos in real money. Guys, listen, pay attention to what's happening. But remember, if you live in the United Kingdom, the Ukraine conflict is going to be your main focus. Guys, stay safe.
And the hits just keep on coming.
Looking at the whole Gaza Strip right now, and it's a mess. It's a real mess.
So you'd like Jordan to house people from
I'd like
Gaza?
him to take people. I'd like Egypt to take people. I'm talking to General al-Sisi tomorrow, sometime I believe. And I'd like Egypt to take people, and I'd like Jordan to take people. You're talking about probably 1.5 million people. And we just clean out that whole thing. It's over the centuries that's had many conflicts that site. And I don't know, something has to happen, but it's literally a demolition site right now. Almost everything's demolished, and people are dying there. So I'd rather get involved with some of the Arab nations and build housing in a different location where they can maybe live in peace for a change.
Temporarily, or would they
It could be either. It could be temporarily, could be long term.
First of all, the unmitigated gall that he has to reach out to other countries to try and force them to take citizens from their own country because the United States is providing ammunition and bombs that has totally destroyed their country, while he's trying to boot American citizens from their own country. Who's on first? Second, he says it could be temporary or it could be long term. Bitch, it's gonna be permanent. Third, it looks like a demolition site over in Gaza because of what Israel has done, because of the person that you are in partnership with. And we know why you want to get other countries to take Palestinians in. It's because you and Bibi and Jared are like this, and y'all got plans for that area. Beachfront property is what Jared said. You said it's a prime location. We know what you all have planned for Gaza. We warned American Palestinians here of what your plans for Gaza was. Yeah, but they sided with racism. They sided with anti-blackness. They sided with misogyny and misogynoir just because you flew down and lied to them in their faces. Yeah, you told them that you would bring peace to the Middle East. You just didn't tell them how you were going to achieve that. But we knew, because, yeah, we've been reading between the lines for hundreds of years. We knew what it was that you had planned. Never mind the fact that you already told us what you had planned. Yeah, they sided with you even though during your first presidency, you instituted a Muslim ban. They sided with you even though you said repeatedly out there on the campaign trail that, you were going to reinstitute, you were going to bring back the Muslim ban. They sided with you even though you used the word Palestinian as a slur against Joe Biden. They sided with you. Yeah. Where are the protests? All of you that told people to vote for Donald Trump, that told people to vote third party or don't vote at all. Where are the protests now? Where are the protests now that he is openly and freely saying a lot of the things that he was openly freely saying when he was out on the campaign trail. Where are your protests now? Where are your videos now calling him Genocide Trump? Where are your dehumanizing labels for Donald Trump? Yeah. Where is that? Y'all are silent. Y'all are silent. Y'all are either silent or now trying to get all of us to unify. But not one of you are talking about the things that Donald Trump has said since he's been elected to the presidency. Y'all are silent.
The recent remarks by Donald Trump suggesting a forced relocation of Gazans and describing the region as a demolition site have brought forth a deeply concerning narrative that warrants serious reflection. This idea of a clean out, as Trump puts it, is not just provocative, it is a dangerous proposition that could have catastrophic implications not only for the people of Gaza but for the broader Middle East and the international community as a whole. To begin with, Gaza is home to over 2 million people, the majority of whom are already living in dire condition due to years of blockade, conflict and displacement. This small strip of land is one of the most densely populated areas in the world, and its people have endured unimaginable hardship. For a former US president to suggest forced relocation as a viable solution demonstrates a disregard for human rights and international law. It's important to note that forced displacement is considered a war crime under the Gaza Convention. Trump's language, whether meant to rally his base or to provoke debate, undermines decades of international effort to immediate peace in the region. The humanitarian aspect of this situation cannot be overstated. Imagine being told that your home, the place where your family has lived for generations, is now considered a demolition site, and that you must leave. Where would these displaced people go? Neighboring countries like Egypt and Jordan, which already bear a significant burden of hosting refugees, are unlikely to accept millions more, even if relocation were somehow feasible. It would come at the cost of uprooting people from their cultural, historical, and familiar ties, a trauma that could last generations. This isn't just about moving people, it's about erasing their identity and history. Now let's discuss the political implications. Trump's remarks could exacerbate tension in an already volatile region. The Middle East is a complex web of alliances, conflicts, and rivalries. Forces the relocation of Gaza would likely inflame anti-American sentiment across the Arab world and beyond. It could also strain U.S. relations with key allies who view such comments as inflammatory and destabilizing. Moreover, it will provide extremist groups with propaganda material to recruit and radicalize individuals, framing the U.S. as a perpetrator of injustice against Muslims and Palestinians. In essence, these remarks could make an already dangerous situation even worse. Trump's statement also ignores the root causes of the conflict. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is not a simple issue that can be resolved by removing people from the land. It is a deeply entrenched struggle over identity, survivability, and justice. By framing Gaza as a demolition site, Trump reduces a complex geopolitical issue to a construction problem, completely disregarding the historical, cultural, and political nuisance involved. This oversimplification is not only unhelpful but also harmful, as it shifts the focus away from meaningful solutions like negotiation, mutual recognition, and adherence to international law. The social media reaction to Trump's comments have been as polarized as one might expect. On one hand, some of these supporters view this as a bold, decisive move, arguing that Gaza has been a hotbed of conflict for decades and that drastic measures are needed. However, this perspective fails to account for the human cost of such actions. Supporters often frame it as a solution to terrorism, overlooking the fact that the majority of Gazanians are civilians, many of whom are children. Punishing an entire population for the action of a few is not just unjust, it is immoral, reprehensible. On the other hand, critics have been quick to denounce Trump's remarks as a call for ethnic cleansing, and frankly, it's hard to interpret it any other way. The language of cleaning out an entire region invokes that chapter of history when similar historic lead to genocide and forced displacement. The international community has a responsibility to ensure that such ideas are not normalized or legitimate. Another expert worth discussing is the timing of these remarks. With the US gearing up for another election cycle, it is clear that Trump is trying to energize his base with controversial statements that appeal to certain segments of his supporters. However, playing politics with human lives is a dangerous game. It is one thing to make bold statements about domestic policy, it is another to propose action that could lead to widespread suffering and instability on a global scale. It's important to consider how this historic impact Palestinians living in the diaspora. For many, Gaza represents more than just a strip of land. It's a symbol of their identity and resilience. Hearing a prominent political figure describe their homeland as a demolition site is not just offensive, it's dehumanizing. It sends a message that their lives and histories are disposable, which is a sentiment no group of people should ever have to endure. Lastly, let's talk about the broader implications for US foreign policy. Statements like this undermine Americans' credibility as a mediator in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. How can the US position itself as a neutral party when a former president openly advocates for action that would further marginalize one side? This kind of history rhetoric makes it harder for future administrations to rebuild trust and engage in meaningful diplomacy. In conclusion, Trump's remarks about Gaza are a stark reminder of the power of wars and the responsibility that comes with leadership. Suggesting the forced relocation of millions of people is not just a policy proposal, it's a moral failure. It disregards the humanity of an entire population, ignores the complexities of the conflict, and risks escalating an already dire situation. As citizens of the world, we must reject such historic and advocate for solutions that patronize human rights, justice, and lasting peace. The people of Gaza deserve better, and so does the world. What are your thoughts on this issue? Do you think Trump's comments reflect bold leadership or a dangerous oversimplification? Let's discuss it in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and let's continue this conversation in the comments below. Let us share our thoughts and perspective with one another. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on this story and more.